The English expression, to start from scratch, means to start at the very beginning. The phrase refers to scratching a starting line on the ground for a foot race, for all the runners to stand behind. Another reason for using this expression is that ancient Chinese characters were originally scratched onto turtle shells or the shoulder blades of an ox in divination rituals. Questions about the weather, crop planting, military expeditions, and the fortunes of royal family members would be scratched onto the shell or shoulder blade with a sharp instrument and then heated until the shell or bone split. The diviner would then interpret the cracks to answer the question or make a prediction. In these lessons, Chinese from scratch, I hope to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese pictograms, beginning with the simplest and later combining the different elements to create more complex characters. As an introduction, I have been studying and teaching both English and Chinese word etymologies, or word roots, for over 45 years, and I very well understand that most native language speakers and teachers are totally unfamiliar with the origins of the vocabulary they use on a daily basis. This is normal. Native speakers have no need to understand why or how the words they use mean what they do. However, foreign language learners, myself included, desperately need something to grab onto when their mother tongue differs so radically from the language being studied, in this case, Chinese. Mandarin Chinese is a tonal language in which the pronunciation of a syllable changes its meaning entirely. Mandarin has 4 tones, simply called first, second, third, and fourth tone. For example, the syllable ba, spoken with a high flat tone, ba, means the number 8. Ba, pronounced with a rising tone, ba, means to pull out or extract. Ba, with a low dipping tone, ba, means to grasp something. And ba, spoken with a sharp falling tone, ba, can mean father or papa. Ba, 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 ba. In other words, the tone is extremely important. So, as a memory aid, I use 4 distinct colors and 4 different positions to help you remember them. In each lesson, I will introduce 4 characters that are visually related in some way, and I will place them in sections of different colors to represent their tone. When practicing, close your eyes and picture the color and the position of each character and try to pronounce them. Forgetting the correct tone is the most common mistake for those of us from different language backgrounds. So, always make use of any memory device that can help you. My purpose in making these lessons is to help those unacquainted with Chinese to pick up key elements in the way characters are composed. Keep in mind that Chinese etymologists often have different explanations for some characters, since these written forms have been hand-copied over the course of 3,000 years, and variations obviously do exist. My Western background should be no obstacle here, because I am not inventing anything. Without exception, the explanations given here are to be found in reference works by reputable Chinese authors or teachers that I have studied with. It is not fanciful guesswork on my part, but I will sometimes add comments or examples in other languages or Chinese dialects that I am familiar with. You will find a list of the reference works that I have used to prepare these etymology lessons in the section below this video. I will begin with the character for person, people, human, or humans, pronounced with a second rising tone, ren, ren. This is the retroflex R sound, which is similar to the G sound as in the word prestige, with the tip of the tongue curved backwards. Ren, ren. Officially called a pictogram, ren is a side view of the human body with a curved line on the left representing the head and arms. Approximately 4% of Chinese characters are classified as pictograms. Notice how this character has changed from a stick figure or pictogram carved on animal bones to the way it's written today, with 2 strokes of a pen or brush. The strokes are written in a specific order, basically from top to bottom and from left to right. Stroke order is important for writing the characters correctly and also for using a Chinese dictionary. From the English translation of person, people, human, humans, we can discover something remarkable about Chinese. There are no grammatical endings, so nouns do not have plural forms and verbs do not have tense. However, if we want to indicate a large number or quantity, some characters can be doubled. For example, to express the idea of everyone, we can double this character and say 人人. Our next character, called an ideogram, represents the idea of big or great, pronounced with the 4th and sharp and falling tone, 大, 大. Here we can see a person standing with both arms outstretched to indicate a large size, an abstract concept, not anything physical. Notice again the stroke order, which shows us another small rule. Write horizontal strokes before vertical ones. Now we can combine these 2 characters to make the Chinese expression for adult. 大人, 大人. If you enjoy watching Chinese period dramas on television or online, you will often hear this expression, 大人, used as a polite way to address a superior or a government official. The modern usage is simply a grown-up or an adult. Our next character combines the ideogram for large or great with an upper horizontal stroke in order to represent the huge expanse above our head, or the sky, the heavens, or even God. This character is pronounced with a high and flat first tone. 天, 天. Again, we see the stroke order rule of horizontals before verticals. With this new character, we can create the expression for describing a huge mistake or an egregious lie. 天大, 天大. In other words, a mistake as huge as the sky above. Or we can double the character for emphasis to express the idea of every day. 天天. Our final character is an ideogram that belongs to the 3rd low dipping tone and is pronounced 九, 九. It also originates from the stick figure for human, but now he is dragging an injured leg or is somehow being held back or delayed in some way. Since he moves so slowly, the modern meaning is simply a very long time. And, as we just saw with the emphatic expressions 人人 and 天天, we can also say 久久 to mean for a very long time. Did you notice the pronunciation? When saying 2 third tones together, it's almost impossible to drop your voice twice in a row. So, Mandarin speakers say the previous character with a rising tone before dipping into the proper low tone of the next one. 久久, 久久. The reason for this is obvious. We can't drop our voice 2 times in succession. Other tone combinations cause no problem for fluent speaking. Now, let's put all 4 characters in their proper positions on our color chart and practice the correct stroke order. As a mnemonic aid, blue is the color of the sky and represents the high and flat first tone. Green is the color of trees and plants and represents the rising or growing second tone. Red is the color of fire and destruction, where the voice drops deeply, representing the low, dipping third tone. Yellow is the color of a sandy beach, which slopes down into the sea. 人 大 天 九 So, what have we learned in today's lesson? 1. Mandarin Chinese has 4 tones: high, rising, dipping, and falling. 2. Different tones on a syllable change the meaning completely. 3. This lesson introduces 2 kinds of characters: pictograms, or drawings, and ideograms, or concepts. 4. Characters have a definite stroke order, from up to down, left to right, horizontals before verticals. 5. Many Chinese characters are 3,000 years or older, first scratched on animal bones. 6. Chinese scholars have different opinions of what some characters originally depicted. 7. Chinese characters cannot be inflected, so nouns have no plural and verbs have no tense. 8. 4 characters based on the ancient drawing for person or human: 人, 大, 天, 九. 9. 6 2-character expressions: adult, 大人, egregious, 天大, everyday, 天天, everybody, 人人, and for a long, long time, 久久. 10. When 2 third-tone characters are spoken together, the first changes to a rising tone, 久久. Now, here is a short quiz on today's characters. Fill in the characters for the English expressions. The answers will follow. As we learn more characters in the following lessons, I will incorporate previously taught characters into more Chinese expressions. Thank you for watching and listening.